So, how do you top a league campaign where you almost got maximum points? Well, you try to do it again, of course, and you try to win the other stuff too. Hello and welcome back to the Chelsea Academy Challenge here with season number 3. Last season is certainly going to be a tough act to follow, and as the years go by with the transfer rules we have, things will only get harder. Every sale, every contract renewal has to be considered with the simple fact of whether we can get a replacement in at all, and ideally one who can maintain the existing levels, which is going to be tough. Jeremy Boga had an excellent year on loan at West Ham, but probably won't play much here. But I'd rather keep him as an option, so we loan him to Ajax this time. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is the ultimate I don't want to sell him but he's barely going to play player, so he goes on loan to Newcastle for the season. Todd Cantwell also goes back to Valencia on loan despite complaining all year long about his game time. Tamui Bakayoko's weird 2-year loan to AC Milan also officially becomes permanent, while Emerson goes to West Ham on loan this year. Billy Gilmore and Faustino Andrew both go on loan to Germany for the year, and I'm not sure Armando Broja will ever really cut it here, so he moves to Antwerp for 4.2 million. And then there's Ross Barkley, who's been a dependable backup for Kai Havertz, and I don't want him to leave, but his agent fell subject to the FM22 moron disease, locking in a promise to play him as an attacking midfielder when he signed a new contract, a position we obviously don't and won't be using, so he demands to leave. Absolutely love this realistic feature. I want to leave the club that just nearly achieved maximum points in the Premier League because I don't get to play slightly further forward on the pitch. Oh well, after rejecting West Ham and Newcastle, he somehow wrangles himself a £45 million move to Real Madrid. I mean, fair play, Ross. 2 years in, we need to start sweeping up some youngsters. Callum Hooper is signed from Cardiff for an initial £5 million. At 16, he looks like he could be a pretty special centre-back, as could Wisdom Amy from Bologna, who joins for 8.25 million. We signed Robert Machula from Borussia Dortmund on a pre-contract for 5.5 million. My scouts think he'll do pretty well. The scouts also recommend a 15-year-old goalkeeper from Hibs and one from Hearts, so we just signed both. And we secured 2 promising regens from San Lorenzo for free, and for the second summer running, Crystal Palace just offer one of their best youngsters in exchange for one of our average ones. Otherwise, there's not really much we need to improve, certainly in the first 11, and our options are of course quite limited. But with Barkley leaving, I look for a replacement to back up Havertz, and I'm surprised when Barcelona just accept our £51 million bid for Gavi without any fight. At 18, he looks pretty exceptional already and would surely be the future of their midfield alongside Pedri, but I guess they have financial problems here too. To be able to sign an 18-year-old like this from anywhere is difficult, so very happy to get this done. And that was it. No real need to do much else this year, I hope. But we are still spending money, as the board also agreed to improve our training facilities back up to a level they were at the start of the save. And there's been major moves elsewhere, as Pep Guardiola, having missed out on the Premier League title to us last season, resigned as Manchester City boss, only to take over at Liverpool after Jurgen Klopp moved to Real Madrid. For the first time in the save, we start a season with a schedule which just looks normal. Arsenal are up first in the Community Shield. We go behind early on as Saka scores despite blatant impeding on Mendy, but no doubt about the second as Giacomo Raspadori is allowed to waltz through with some abysmal defending. I keep yelling at the players and eventually they remember to start playing like champions. A fine move allows Hudson-Odoi to equalise before some calamitous defending of Arsenal's own gifts Lukaku his first of the season. But we can't find a winner and it goes to penalties. Havertz hits the post. Mendy saves from Martinelli, but in sudden death, Kante blazes over and we've lost. The perfect start, boys. The board want us to challenge again, which is fair enough, while the season preview has us second behind our old rivals Liverpool, now of course under the management of the guy who nearly beat us last year. We have Leeds up first in the Premier League, and it's good to see Lukaku fit and firing ahead of the new season, with another 2 excellent goals in a 4-0 win. This takes us to 50 Premier League games unbeaten, which is apparently a new record. We've also sold nearly 30,000 season tickets, so I asked the board about the stadium issue. It's then straight to the Etihad to face now Luis Enrique's Manchester City in the only game from last season where we dropped points, and it looks set to be a repeat, or indeed even worse, as a woeful performance, sloppy play everywhere allows City to take a deserved lead through Jack Grealish. We look to be heading for our first league defeat in absolutely ages before Callum Hudson-Odoi pops up with a late strike to rescue an undeserved point. The board are clearly impressed though, as they agree to my request to expand Stamford Bridge, deciding to up the capacity to 48,870 seats, which is not too bad. And then we do end the month with a narrow 1-0 win over Newcastle. But we don't win Manager of the Month for August, which I'm not going to lie has caused withdrawal symptoms, so we need to improve. We crush a sorry Bournemouth 3-0 as they don't even have a shot. We can't manage to get revenge against Arsenal though, as it's another draw. Really we should have won, but Raspadori is quite good. Still, it extends the unbeaten league run to a ridiculous 54. Early days, but we sit second, 3 behind City with a game in hand as they win at Anfield in a potentially crucial early result. Our Champions League group this year is, well, it could be kinda. We kick off against Nice with an unconvincing win. We face our old enemies next. Safe to say performances from some people, Hakim Ziyech especially, are down on last year. And it's not a great start as Fikayo Tomori, well, I don't know what he was intending, but it clearly didn't work. Mbappe equals things up though with an acute finish, and with Liverpool clearly having the best of the play, we'll cut our losses and take the point. We beat Oldham 7-0 in the League Cup third round as I accidentally play a full strength side like a complete idiot. I suppose it might boost everyone's confidence, but I have rather ruined my squad rotation plans. And it's not like there's a let-up of tough games as we face Manchester United next. Mendy makes a big early save before Mbappe somehow contrives to miss this. And then in the second half, Werner somehow does even better. But he does redeem himself, powering home Chilwell's cross. But then some shambolic defending allows Mason Greenwood to swiftly equalise before Werner. And they immediately counter and Greenwood scores again. And we've lost. After 55 games, we've lost. And at home as well. Werner is apparently wanted by Juventus and Bayern Munich. Well, they can have him. I knew last year was too good to be true. As I actually do remember to rotate this time, we beat RB Leipzig 3-1 in the Champions League, before beating Fulham in another less than convincing display, but hey, at least we've won 2 games in a row for the first time this season. But our early form has already left us well off the pace. To help, I decide to hire some new coaches, and Andrei Arshavin is apparently, discipline aside, absolutely amazing. We continue our upturn in form with a win over Watford thanks to a solitary Kai Havertz goal. And then with Lukaku injured, Werner decides to actually be vaguely competent as we beat Barcelona at the Nou Camp. Not that that really means much these days given that they're a mid-table side. He gets another as we see off Norwich and another not exactly prolific display in front of goal. Credit to Timo I suppose, Lukaku isn't exactly replicating the form from last season at the moment. We end the month in a healthier second place, but City are continuing the run they ended last season with, which is just great. Oh, and our midfield superstars are both being tapped up from the continent, which I'll tell the boards of PSG and Bayern now, is categorically not happening. But what is happening is that we're back in business in what really matters. Me winning Manager of the Month. I thank the game for the recognition that we're turning things around. In the league at least, not the Carabao Cup, as I do rotate this time against Arsenal, but it doesn't go well. I did get distracted during the second half and forgot to pause, or else I would have at least subbed off the wingers. We swiftly solve the Mount and Havertz problems with some big new contracts and revel in our superior academy. We do then win again in the league, actually scoring more than 2 goals in the process against Brighton. Are we back? I think we might be back, as we run riot against a sorry Barcelona to secure qualification for the first knockout round. And then when the goal 50 thing comes round, Lukaku is top. Surely the Ballon d'Or is on the way. Mbappe and Kante also make the cut. We then play Villa and it's a great performance. Ziyech scores, and although Ings equalises, a first Chelsea hat-trick from Kylian Mbappe seals the win. We're definitely the best of the rest, but City are going to be hard to catch. But the board are satisfied they have the right man as they hand me a bumper new 5-year deal. Our drop-off from last season was inevitable given how incredible we were, and the new game patch has gone live during the recording of this episode, so that may have affected things, but still, Ziyech scored 16 goals last season and currently has just 1, while Lukaku has 5 versus 50. Obviously a long way still to go, but curious. Although saying that, everyone is still averaging at least a 6.95 at lowest. Mbappe is clearly doing way better than last year, and we are still second in the league. And Man City then immediately get whacked for 3 by West Ham, so let's put the eulogy away for now. We travel to Burnley and they're in 6th, and they certainly did test us, but we managed to grab a 2-1 win before a comprehensive win over Nice ensures we win our Champions League group. What's this? You shouldn't have. Great to see my stranglehold on this award continues. Gavi also picks up Young Player of the Month, which is impressive as he hasn't started any league games. We face Spurs, and while not as heavy a defeat as normal for them, it's still another win for us as Lukaku gets just his 6th of the season. But this allows us to close the gap at the top to City to just 2 points. And then we beat Leipzig again to secure a 100% record in our Champions League group. Everton are bottom of the league, having an awful season, and we're 2-0 up inside 5 minutes before Ziyech seals the win. Man City scored 2 injury time goals to rescue a point at Wolves, but still a boost for our title hopes. Our youth intake preview this year is quite positive with regards to attacking players at least. We face West Ham and it's probably our best league performance of the season as 2 Reece James free kicks help us to a 4-0 triumph, which means we've now gone level on points with Man City, who remain top on goal difference. We get Juventus in the Champions League knockouts, which could have been better really, but we then score 4 goals again against Wolves as Lukaku realises he should probably ensure he actually does get that Ballon d'Or sewn up. Good to see him back to his best. I mean, he is currently operating at 92 goals out of 90 Premier League games for us, so really can just do whatever. We beat Brentford 3-0 in the penultimate game of the year, which swings the goal difference to actually see us go top, back where we belong, but then we immediately bin it off by drawing with Leicester. Havertz and Chilwell were injured, which didn't help, but City of course win, so it's back down to second. But hey, it could be worse. Lukaku does manage to win the Ballon d'Or and the FIFA one as well. Mendy comes second in the Golden Glove, and Lukaku, Havertz and Tomori all make the World Team of the Year. Obviously we've not been as good as last season, but that was a freak of a year. Lukaku's output is down considerably though, and that is definitely an issue. But still, we're second and there's trophies still up for grabs. And the fixture list doesn't look like hell, so that makes a change. And I mean, if we survive this season, we'll be the longest serving Chelsea manager since original Mourinho, which is something at least. See you next time.